The Brooks Memorial Building, commonly referred to as the Marshall Civic Center, has been a vital part of the Marshall community for nearly a century. The building, with its unique architecture, stained glass windows, and quaint theater, has inspired artists and provides a cultural center and a source of pride for the community. Cultural and social activities held in the building have entertained thousands, while meeting and banquet rooms have provided a gathering place for families and community groups. In 1923, the local Methodist congregation broke ground for the Brooks Memorial Building. Mrs. Ellen Craig Brooks dedicated the building in 1924. Mrs. Brooks, along with her son Harold, provided 90% of the funding in order to pay tribute to her husband Charles, who had been a lay leader and pastor in the community. The Roaring Twenties was a revolutionary time of social change. The style and design of the Brooks Memorial Building reflected these changes taking place in society. The Brooks family and the church leaders adopted a new architectural style, which greatly contrasted from previous church designs.
The Brooks Memorial Methodist Church was built in what's called the Akron style of church architecture. That's pretty much talking about the interior and the orchestra type shape that it has. Exterior-wise, it could be considered colonial revival or a late Greek revival, or as we've used the term, Beaux-Arts classicism. The only church that I know that has the same style is a Congregational church in St. John's, Michigan. But this church was built in one form or another throughout the Midwest in the 1920s or perhaps earlier.
The church was more than a place of worship. It was a community center. The Brooks Memorial Church, in addition to the traditional Sunday school and meeting rooms, provided a third-floor gymnasium and public restrooms. For nearly 50 years, the Brooks Memorial Building was the home of the United Methodist congregation and served as a vital community and social center. When the Methodist congregation moved to their present location, the Marshall Community Foundation, headed by Morris Stolberg, was formed to save the structure. The foundation donated the building to the city for a civic center in 1971. It quickly became a true community center with the creation of preschool classes, art, and cultural events.
I was first introduced to the Marshall Civic Center as a 3-year-old when I participated in the preschool nursery. And I would go about 3 times a week. That was my first experience. When I was about 8 years old, my dad would take me to the Marshall Rotary travel series. And I can remember climbing the stairs up to the balcony and sitting up there and watching these programs about other places in the world. And I really think that was one of the core things in my life that made me want to go out and meet other people from other cultures and explore other countries. And at that time I thought, wow, wouldn't it be neat to do something like that?
The heart of the Civic Center is its intimate auditorium. This charming 180-seat theater is blessed with wonderful acoustics, lavish stained glass windows, and a stage ideal for plays, film series, and dance and music recitals. For 30 years, it has been the home of the Marshall Civic Players and the Marshall Community Youth Theater.
I first became involved with youth theater in the summer of 1992. I was a 5th grader, and my first show was The King and I. And I continued doing youth plays there from the time I was in middle school through high school. I mean, the whole months of June, July, they were all spent there basically from 9 until 5 every day. The beauty of the Civic Center is the fact that you don't need to have microphones or any kind of sound equipment to project your voice. It's such a small, intimate theater that it's basically one-on-one with the audience. I mean, they can see your facial expressions. They can see the spit that flies from your mouth when you're singing. I mean, that's the benefit of having a small theater because it's such a homey environment. And you can project, and the people in the back row can see just as well and hear you just as well as the people in the front row can.
when I danced on stage, it was such a big deal, and I loved being part of that atmosphere. It's a small, intimate theater, but yet it has ornate features about it, like the stained glass windows and panels. And it's something that you don't find in any other place or any other town. It's a very special part of our community.
Marshall is known for its historic buildings, so why not maintain a historic building and at the same time use it for theaters and plays and everything that the community can benefit from?